What's up guys, I'm Jads. I stream a lot of RIMWORLD on Twitch, and today I'm doing a quick tutorial on one of my favorite mods, Dubs Bad Hygiene, which of course adds bathrooms to the game. Because it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. It adds this whole tab to our menu here with lots of options and a tab to the research tree. I've filled out most of it already with this colony so that we'd be good to go for this tutorial. So I hope you enjoy, and if you find this useful, please like and subscribe. All right, so we've got our little colony. I have a giant room waiting to be our bathroom. So right after you land, the first thing I recommend is just clicking the hygiene tab and throwing down a latrine, a wooden water tub, and a primitive well with which to fill your wooden water tub. Where is it? There it is. As soon as you click the well, you will actually see all this groundwater appear. This shows you where you can place the well to actually get water out of it. I'm just gonna put mine right here. If you put this water tub outside, it will actually fill up in the rain. And if you land on a map tile that has a river, it's not as urgent to get the well down because your ponds will just go wash in the river, as well as get drinking water. So the hygiene mod does add 3 new needs to the need tab: thirst, bladder, and hygiene. Your ponds do need potable water to drink. If you land on a map tile again with like a river, this is a source of fresh water, they'll be fine to drink that. You really only need to start worrying about not having safe drinking water once you start getting rid of sewage. Then it becomes a little bit of a problem. All right, so I have the most rudimentary bathroom set up here. It looks ridiculous in this giant room. If you click the latrine, you'll see that it tells you how full the pit is. Once this reaches 100%, you're gonna have to drain it. Your ponds will do this manually, and it'll empty it into a barrel of fecal sludge. But if you research biofuel refining from the main research tab, you'll be able to refine that fecal sludge into chem fuel. So I actually really like having latrines because it's kind of like a free source of fuel forever. And once you kind of get that cycle going and you have that unlocked, you can just have a few chem fuel generators and you will never be without electricity. But let's say you want to move on from this primitive bathroom, you want something a little better looking. So in our hygiene tab, you're gonna go to water well, and mine looks a little bit different right now than yours might if you're first opening up the mod, because I've already unlocked almost everything in the Dubs Bad Hygiene research tab with this colony. So here's water well, and I'm just gonna put it down. Let's just put it right here. And we'll just deconstruct our old well. Once you have your well built, you also need a pump to actually, operate that well. So I'm gonna put down an electric pump because I already have electricity. And then because I'm gonna be running electricity, just for RP's sake, I'm gonna actually build a little shack around this to serve as kind of like a little pump house. So once you have your well hooked up to a pump and the pump is hooked up to power, you need water storage. So I'm gonna put in a water tower, and I'll make it out of steel. And we'll just do 1 for now, although I recommend having at least 2 for larger colonies. Even a colony of 5 ponds, you're gonna be better off with two water towers, especially if you have bathtubs. So the plumbing works similar to a power conduit. You click it, it will highlight it in this like aqua color. Basically anything that's gonna be plumbed needs to all be connected with this plumbing. You have different options of what you wanna make it out of. They have no effect on like the quality of the plumbing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect this into the bathroom. And I'm gonna go ahead and just plumb around the whole walls because I'm not sure where I wanna put my fixtures yet. Now you can see that when I don't have steel plumbing selected, you can't see it. That's actually an option in the mod settings that you have to turn off. I think the default is that you can see the pipes, which is hideous, so I highly recommend turning that off. All right, so if you click on your water tower, if it's hooked up correctly, you'll see that the stored water is going up as the pump is working. So now let's get rid of these kind of primitive facilities and replace them here. So I'm gonna put in a shower, a proper shower. Might as well put in a nice bathtub. And then I'm gonna put in a toilet here. You can see the toilet has this symbol over it that's showing that something's wrong. It's not connected to the correct plumbing. So if we look at our plumbing, we can see it is hooked up to our water source, but when you have a plumbed toilet like that, it needs to be hooked up to a sewage outlet. So you have 2 ways to get rid of sewage when you're hooked up to a toilet. You can actually build a sewage outlet and have it drain somewhere on your map. This is another reason to pick a river with flowing water, because you can just pick a spot on the river that's a little further away from your colony, maybe there, and then pipe that and sewage will come out and go down the river and you never need to worry about it. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, so now you can see my toilet is functioning. and it is going to be draining down here. So the other way to get rid of sewage would be a septic tank. Now, if you're gonna put a septic tank in or just a sewage outlet out, just on the ground somewhere, you wanna make sure that it's not gonna overlap with this green circle around your well, because if it does, your well will pull up some of that contamination. And then if you have thirst turned on and your ponds are drinking water, they're going to get sick. So I'm gonna put my septic tank like out here where there's not even any groundwater, just to be safe. There we go. So just like the latrine, if you click on it, it tells you how much it's holding. You can also set the level that you want your ponds to empty it at to pull out the fecal sludge. Right now it's set at when it hits the 50% mark. It also actually treats a certain amount, so this percentage will gradually go down. If you have a lot of ponds, the rate at which it goes down is not going to be fast enough. You're going to have to drain it. But with only, 3 or 4 ponds, I actually think I may never have to drain it. It may be able to treat and kind of dissipate enough each day. So if you want to be able to use the fecal sludge to produce chem fuel, I recommend just using a latrine and not a plumbed toilet. So now that we have our plumbed bathroom set up, although we're missing a sink, which is not very hygienic of us, where is it? I'll just throw in a nice little basin here. You can also see that my ponds are really interrupting each other. You can click on any of these features in the bathroom and check occupancy check, and they will stop barging in on each other, and that will save you from that embarrassed debuff. Oh, there, look, she checked and she turned around. Okay, so now we have our sink. One of the things that you may notice also is that these ponds get a little debuff. I wonder if any of them has taken a bath recently. Yes, Ellie recently took a bath or a shower and has a -3 cold water debuff here. So you can actually build hot water tanks, hot water heaters, and they can take hot baths, which they love. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in a hot water tank in the corner, and I'm gonna hook it up to an electric boiler. There's a few different types of boilers. I prefer electric. If you click on your boiler, it tells you what the heating capacity is. This boiler has 250 units of heating power. If you click on your water tank, it tells you how many it needs. This one only needs 100, so you could hook up 2 water tanks to this boiler. For the water temp, 100% means hot. That means it's fully heated up. If it has access to less power, it's not gonna be able to get as hot. So these items are basically the gist of Dubs Bad Hygiene, although there's other cool stuff that you can do with it that I don't do as often. So if we look at the research tab, and only a few of these are like the default research, I've just gone ahead and filled out most of it with this colony. You can compost fecal sludge and use it as fertilizer, increase the fertility of your soil on your map. You can irrigate. So if you go into your hygiene tab, you can put an irrigation sprinkler. And if I put one, in each of my fields, I could plumb them and it will increase the fertility of the soil in that area. Of course, I'm also using the tilled soil mod, so I don't really know how much of a difference it's gonna make. My fertility is already 200%. Another thing that I really like that this mod has is fire sprinklers. That's under the fire suppression in the research tab. But once you install it, you do have to plumb them. And you'd have to put one in each room basically. But whenever there's a fire in the radius, it will spray water everywhere and put the fire out. So if you put these in each room in your colony, you really do not need to worry about dying in a fire or even losing anything valuable in a fire. That's what they look like completed. They're a little ugly, but if you've ever lost a colony to a horrible fire, it is worth it. Another thing that you can put in is you can put in multi-split air conditioning, which is basically you can have an outdoor air conditioner unit and then hook it up to ACs inside. So you no longer need to have it in that wall with a hot outlet, which is really nice in a mountain base. You can also hook radiators up for central heating. If you hook them up to a hot water tank and enough boilers, they will actually really keep your base nice and toasty. And then a personal favorite that comes with the mod is a washing machine. Where can I guess we'll just put it in the bathroom. I have nowhere else. This is the ugliest bathroom I've ever built, by the way. I usually build gorgeous bathrooms. We'll put 2 in so I can pretend one is a dryer, just a little RP. But what the washing machine does is you can put tainted clothing in it and wash it, and it removes the taintedness from it. So I always like to have these in my colonies. First of all, they're so cute. Look how cute they are. And second of all, they're actually really useful, especially late game when you have raiders dropping some nice armor that you really want to be able to wear without your pawns throwing a hissy fit. And then last but not least, well, not last, there's a few more things in this mod that I'm not going to go over, but there are swimming pools and hot tubs, which your pawns really love. Swimming pools take forever to fill up, so I'm not gonna build one. They're huge and they take like days to fill. So we're not gonna fill that, but we can build a little hot tub. Voila. So that's kind of it for this Dubs Bad Hygiene little mini tutorial. I know we did not cover everything in the Dubs Bad Hygiene research tab or all of the features, but we covered most of the stuff that I use at least. If there's anything else in this mod that you'd like me to kind of take a look at in a video, let me know down in the comments. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful or enjoyed it at all, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.